I believe in scoops.
Acknowledge me, the one. Acknowledge me. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Kick It Scoops. I'm your host, Scoops, the sole admin of Scoops. And what a weekend of AFL footy it truly was. It had it all. The top 10 is really heating up. The 10th spot on the ladder currently belongs to the Saints. Will it remain with my Saints come the end of round 24? 4 games to go. Realistically now, I feel like North Melbourne and Gold Coast won't be playing in the wild card. I'm not willing to rule out the Giants yet. And the Carlton Football Club I will not be ruling out just yet, but very, very unlikely. If they were to somehow beat the Saints, who they play next week, that could give them a chance to remain. They've got Freo and Brisbane in their other matchups, or some of their other matchups, and the Bulldogs. So I don't see them winning any of them. Potentially the Bulldogs game maybe, but not Freo and not Brisbane. St Kilda have Richmond, Gold Coast, Carlton, and the Swans this week. So I see the Saints maybe winning 2, at least 3 of those. Should. The Giants, they've got Gold Coast in there. They've got Port Adelaide in there. I think they'll win both of them. So the Saints win this week is really, really important. The Giants are percentage and 4 points behind the Saints. And I think the Giants are the only side that can potentially knock the Saints out of the top 10. However, we'll wait and see and take it 1 week at a time. This week was a very emotional week for St Kilda fans and Max King and the St Kilda Football Club. It was a return to the AFL. His first AFL game since 2024. He played VFL in May, played a game and a half before a hamstring injury. Came back this week through the AFL. It was an emotional day for the Saints and Max King. And then in the third quarter, he was laying down on the bench, bounced up, jogged down the race, and he was ruled out of hamstring tightness. Now, as of this recording, as I'm recording this, there's no update. He's going to have a scan today, and hopefully, by the time I'm recording this, that he's been cleared of any severe damage or any damage at all. Hopefully, Max King is available this week. Now, knowing his injury history, he probably won't play this week, even if it is just an awareness and is more scared, I guess, or impacted by, spooked, I would say, by something, was a bit sore. But yeah, we wish King all the best. It was a return, no matter how yesterday played out. He's still got there. And Kingy, we're proud of you to get back to this stage. And no matter whatever this potential setback is, the real and true Saints fans are going to stick by you, mate. And it was just so great to see you out there on an AFL field again, because all the doubters that said you would never make it back, you proved them wrong. Yes, there's another setback in the recovery here on the road, but you've done what many others doubted you. Many people, not me, trolls and crap gutter journalists doubted you and said you would never make it back, and you made it back, Max. Be proud of that, and don't listen to the wankers on the internet and the gutter journalists. Because trust me, there's plenty of them, and a lot of them are going to get mentioned right now. So, Scoops S Bang got a lot to talk about, and I wonder who's going to get mentioned in this segment. Now, our Team of the Week, Supercoach talk, and everything in between. We'll start off with this. You want me on Cameo, cameo.com/Cooper G. You want me to roast a friend, wish somebody a birthday, anything at all, cameo.com/Cooper G. And if you know any AFL, AFW players or any state league players and you want to see them on the channel in a Gold King Challenge and or interview, please do send me a message and we'll absolutely try and get it sorted. Now it's time. I just got a feeling this is going to be the most explosive Scoops S Bang of the year, easily. Now it's time for that world famous segment, Scoops Goes Bang! Kane Corns. You just want to get mentioned every week. To Kane Corns and the other gutter journalists who pre-game were basically insulting Max King and St Kilda's decision and everything like that, and then post-game. I am sick of the media. The media, the majority of them are just gutter journalists or gutter trash analysis, trash commentators, whatever. Now, Kane Corn said a lot of bullshit this week, which I'm going to get to, about not just St Kilda and Max King. He had to go at Sam Flanders again. The guy ruptured his Achilles 2 months ago and he's still ripping into Sam Flanders and giving him drive-bys for no unnecessary reason. He had to go at Collingwood and Ed Allen again. And the media in general, and the gutter journalism from Josh Galbalich yesterday towards Ross Lyon at the press conference, repeating the same question multiple times. Chris Scott's comments about Ross Lyon, about Bailey Smith. That's also going to get a run through here. So, first of all, Chris Scott said this about Ross Lyon. Ross Lyon was asked about Bailey Smith. Bailey often talks without thinking, doesn't he? Ross said. Scott replies, he's got nothing if not a sharp tongue, Ross. Well, Ross was asked about Bailey Smith, and he thought that Windhager went to him in the second half and quelled his influence, which he actually did. Actually did that. But Chris Scott just talks complete and utter nonsense. I know that was a while ago, but it was pathetic. Now, the journo in Scott's defense did ask him that, but they always go for the clickbait headline. I guess they got it, but Chris Scott should stay in his lane. Now, Kane Corns, you're featuring a lot here. Now, first of all, we'll start with the Collingwood side of things. So, you were saying that Ed Allen did not play well. Did you watch the game? Did you watch the game? You clearly didn't. Because last time I checked, Ed Allen played a run-with role on Jordan Dawson in the second half. Jordan Dawson had a good first half, had 15 disposals in the first half, but had 7 in the second half with no impact. And when the going got tough for the Crows, he and the team did not deliver. He's the captain. He's the guy the Crows rely on. Ed Allen played well. He played very, very good. 2 goals, 17 disposals. 2 goals on Jordan Dawson, might I add, while tagging Jordan Dawson, who had 7 disposals with no impact in the second half. To say that Ed Allen didn't play well and did not beat Jordan Dawson shows the amount of zero ball knowledge that Kane Corns truly has. He doesn't watch the game. There's this saying with him and Kingy in that they have about, you get up early and do the work. That's what Kane likes to run with a lot. No, Kane, you don't do shit. You don't do the work at all. Because if you did, you would realize that Ed Allen played awesome and that Jordan Dawson was not even sighted in the second half. If you had any brains, Kane, you would know that, but you don't. You've got zero ball knowledge. And then on top of that, you continue the Collingwood bagging. Then you say if Collingwood, if there was no wild card around, Collingwood wouldn't be where they are. That's just factually incorrect. Because if you had a brain, you would actually realise that they're currently in a great position, the Pies. They are currently, Collingwood, 8th on the ladder. So let's just say there was no wild card around, Kane. They're in the top 8. So what do you mean? What do you mean? If there was no wild card around, they wouldn't be where they are. That is the biggest load of crap I've ever heard. They're 8th on the ladder. And on the old format, if they finish 8th or higher, they play finals, Kane. Do the work. You don't do the work. You just like pot-shotting St Kilda and Collingwood. I don't know why, but you do, and other clubs as well, but in particular St Kilda, and lately, again, Collingwood. I love how David King bites back at you and doesn't sugarcoat things to you, which he has done on other topics as well. So King and keep up the great work and keep ripping into Kane. So, Kane, your comments on Collingwood also is pathetic and factually doesn't make any sense. Ed Allen kicked 2 goals, quelled the influence of Jordan Dawson, who had a good first half, and then when Allen went on to him in the second half, had zero impact on the game, and when the going got tough, Jordan Dawson was nowhere to be seen. And this game alone proves why Jordan Dawson is not a top 10 player in the competition. Jordan Dawson is a very good player, but he is not a top 10 player in the competition. He's not even close to the top 5 midfielders in the competition. Around the 20th best at best. And that's being generous. He's had good games this season, no doubt about it, but he is not a top 10 player in the competition. Just thought I'd add that in there. Now, Kane Corns again. You want to bag Sam Flanders. You were talking about Joel Frazier and how he's not in good form, or people were saying towards you that Joel Frazier's not in good form. And you just happened to bring in Sam Flanders, and it's the guy that you've been bullying all season prior to his injury and in the week after his injury or two. You started saying, well, if Sam Flanders can get 900,000, then so should Joel Frazier. Number one, Kane, Sam Flanders is not on $900,000, about $800 to $850 max. And Frazier has had a shit season and has been dropped. Now, he came as a late in that Gold Coast game because had about 3 people be late outs. Fact of the matter is, Joel Frazier has been so inconsistent this year, even Bulldog fans want him dropped. I've seen Bulldog supporters say they want him dropped. And when he came back in that Gold Coast game, I saw people saying, why can't Oscar Baker get in, yet Joel Frazier can? Off no form whatsoever. Like, it's absolutely bullshit that you continue to bully St Kilda players and Sam Flanders. What has Sam Flanders done to you? Nothing. And Joel Frazier ain't worth 900K, Kane. And Sam Flanders, prior to his injury, averaged 24.4 disposals per game. Something that you're just jealous of, okay? You're just jealous that Sam Flanders played good footy and that your preseason prediction was wrong, and you're just trying to keep bagging Sam Flanders. I'm sure Sam Flanders doesn't give a shit about you, but the amount of bullying you do towards St Kilda players, St Kilda shouldn't let you do a St Kilda game again, like what North did to you last year, because it's pathetic. So pull your head in with that also. Now, there was an SEN clip on Insta and that recently from yesterday or Saturday talking about Max King, insulting him and insulting St Kilda. You were saying that how he shouldn't be playing AFL and all that crap. I think it was Adam Simpson you were on with and someone else. but it was you, Kane, leading the charge, bagging Max King. Now, obviously, pre that, the game hadn't started. So, Kane Corns, yes, Max King got slightly injured. We don't know at the time of this recording. Either way, the decent human would have said, we wish King all the best, we hope he gets through the game well. He has a good game. He's fit and firing, goes well for the Saints, and he continues to have a great season for the rest of the season. Stays injury-free and everything like that. Did you do any of that? No, you didn't. You just bagged the decision saying they were stupid. Now, you tried to validate your move today on SEN by saying that they made the wrong move and you said the right thing. No. You didn't make the right call. You tried to insult St Kilda before again by saying that you don't understand why they bring him in. Oh, he done some running at training and that's all he's done. Oh, congratulations, Ross. That doesn't validate an AFL game. You didn't actually listen, did you, to anything Ross Lyons said? Because you got your biased hatred glasses on towards St Kilda. Your hatred glasses to St Kilda you must have been wearing the last 2 months. Because last time I checked, through that 4-week training block, Max King has been involved in match simulation. The networks had posted clips of him in match simulation in the last month. So he hasn't just been doing running straight lines, as you said, and everything like that. Kane, do the work. Do the research. Instead of running your mouth, how do you back up what you say? You're just talking shit. You're just shit-canning St Kilda. You're shit-canning Ross Lyon, which you couldn't do to his face when he was on agenda setters during the year. Everything like that. How about feel empathy and feel... how about you actually show some care and love and respect towards Max King? The guy's been through so much. You don't know what he's going through, and you just have to pot-shot St Kilda, pot-shot him, and you're not the only one, but you're the one leading the charge in this bullshit. And I'm sick of people like you and trolls on the internet and gutter journalists like yourself. I wouldn't even call you a journalist, but anyway, gutter journalists, gutter football analysis people, so-called expert commentators, whatever you want to call yourself these days. You're terrible at your job because all you do is take pot shots at people. Now, I think Hutchie does a great job, but Hutchie should remove you from SEN and Channel 7. He should. Hutchie does a great job of everything, but you should not be on there. You are a gutter journalist. Now, you called it desperate, a desperate move. It's a desperate move, you say. No, it wasn't a desperate move. He done the work. He had the 4-week recovery, then the 4-week training block. It's about since May. He came back on the weekend. He done everything he could to get back. So you're telling me he's immune to being injured in the VFL. So I don't know if you realise, Kane, but he came through the VFL the first time and got injured in the VFL. It's not a desperate move. He done everything. He done more kilometres back than 2023. Ross went through all this in the presser, which we're going to get to in a second. He went through it all. 6 times, might I add. He went over this, everything. He gave all the details. And if you had an education, you would know what he spoke about and everything that Max King did to get back to where he did. You never once felt bad for Max King. You just went to pot-shotting St Kilda and the situation. Pathetic Kane Shawns. Kane Corns, you should be embarrassed of yourself. You are the worst journalist / expert analysis in the media today with Mitch Cleary. Pathetic. You two are a joke and your comments are pathetic. Now, on SEN today, you also took a pot shot at Saints fans. You said on SEN, the Saints fans are the most easily satisfied supporter group in the country. I mean, I haven't spoken to any St Kilda fans that are satisfied with how we've been. We can see the gradual improvement in Hugo Garcia and Max Hall and Filippo and everyone else that I've mentioned throughout the times. Darcy Wilson, Naz, Sharman, Owens, Jack Silvani, Callum Wilkie, and plenty more. We are not satisfied with being outside the 10 or just scraping in, but we understand how our team is working. We've been bringing in new players. We've had a lot of injuries to key players like Sam Flanders and Jack Sinclair, our co-captain and All-Australian back-to-back years. Players have missed games. TDK's missed games through injuries. Rowan Marshall's missed a couple of weeks here and there as well. So we haven't had a full team. Max King as well, essentially the whole season. So we haven't had our best team on the park all year for most players, for most parts of the year. We're not satisfied with finishing around the mark we are, but we're real people. We know and understand where we're at. Where we are on the ladder is where we expect. Maybe 6th at best, okay? But we understand where we are. We're not satisfied. How about you worry about Port Adelaide? You don't speak for us. You like taking pot shots at St Kilda fan channels as well, and me and everyone like that. We're not satisfied with how we're going. We're just real about, and we understand where we're at in our stage of footy. We've competed with the best. Brisbane, Sydney, Freo, Adelaide. Like the Brisbane game, we were in it to the last quarter. Freo, the same. Sydney, 1 point loss. Adelaide, 2 point loss. Robbed. All sides away from home. That Freo game was in Perth. Gold Coast at the time were playing well in Darwin, and we only just lost that in the last quarter. So we've competed with the best, Kane. Okay? So there is the gradual improvement right there. We're not the most satisfied supporter base in the country, Kane. You're the biggest idiot in the country, more like it. Now, the media, I saw Jay Clark and John Ralph and people like that bring up the Max King situation. Now, Josh Galbelich, I never had a problem with, and he's not quite at Kane Corns levels just yet, but I'm very disappointed with Josh Galbelich yesterday. He was the journo asking Ross Lyon 6 times about Max King's injury. Ross detailed it as best as anyone could about what the doctor told him, about what he has done. He had to coach a game of footy and everything like that. What Max King's done in the recovery period, what he's done in that 4-week training block. And that Josh Galbelich had to keep continuously repeating the question over and over again. What did you expect? You're going to get the same answers. Dumb questions, you get shit answers. There was a quote going around, right? You talk shit, you have shit questions you ask, you're going to get dumb answers. That press conference from Josh Galbelich is the most embarrassing a journalist has been in a press conference that I've seen all year. Like, Ross had every right to kick you out of the press conference, in other words. He didn't, but he easily could have. Talk about the game. We understand that Max is a hot topic and you want to know what's happening. You're saying you're just doing your job. What? You're asking the question 6 times and being an arsehole towards Ross Lyon and trying to question him. He told you everything there is to know, that he would have scans tomorrow, is in today, and when we know, we'll let you all know. He's not a doctor. He hasn't had the scans yet. How's he going to speak to Max King when Max King was in the rooms when it happened in the 3rd quarter and stayed in there and potentially may have left, apparently? I don't know about that part, but he was in the rooms. So how can the guy coaching in the coach's box talk to someone in the rooms while the game's on? Like, just gutter journalism from Josh Galbelich is pretty poor, pretty pathetic. I mean, I've said what I need to say on this. It's just Ross Lyon detailed everything there was to detail about the lead up, the game on the weekend, everything like that. Josh Galbelich, you embarrass yourself and you owe St Kilda, Max King and Ross Lyon an apology because that was gutter journalism. Pull your head in. Hope you all enjoyed that edition of the world famous segment, Scoops Goes Bang. Told you it was going to be a fiery one and a long one too. All right, now it's time to go through my Scoops. Round 20, team of the week. From the back line, the pockets, Jarman Impey and Dane Zorko. Fullback, Josh Worrell. Up back line, the flankers, Nasaya, Wanganeen, Malira, and Marcus Herbert. Centre half back, Jack Silvani. Wingers, Josh Ward and Chad Warner. Centreman, Errol Goulden. Half back line, the flankers, Zach Bailey and Jack Gunston. Centre half forward, Jai Amos. Forward pockets, Bailey Fritsch and Taylor Byrne. Full forward, Shannon Neal. Ruck, Brody Grundy. Rovers, N. Dacos and Patrick Cripps. Interchange, Ed Allen, George Hewitt, Harley Reid, Ed Richards, and Will Ashcroft. The emergencies, Tim Membry, Brad Hill, Darcy Cameron, Tom DeConing, Harry Petty, Tim Kelly, Billy Wilson, Dylan Moore, Harry Morrison, and Stephen Cornelio. Now, the reasons for all my selections will be on the screen for you all to see. Now, so the reasons for all these selections. So, Jarman Impey had 37 disposals and a really good game, so it was pretty self-explanatory as to why he got picked. He was just really good with their big win over Essendon. 37 disposals, 1 goal, 18 intercepts, 2 goal assists, 11 score involvements. He easily deserved his spot. Josh Roll had 21 disposals and just had an all-round good game and deserved his spot. Dane Zorko, 34 disposals off the half-back line, did well. Naz, one of the best games easily of the last few years. Naz had 4 goals with 46 disposals, a couple of goal assists, about 11 score involvements, and about 6 clearances. Naz, you are one of, if not the best player in the competition, and everyone's just jealous that you were good. Hey, Bevo, what do you think of his game this week? Not effective, my ass. 3 goals and 10 disposals and multiple score involvements in the third quarter. Something Marcus Bontempelli could only dream of doing. Jack Silvani, what a recruit. One of the recruits of the season, Jack Silvani, alongside Clayton Oliver and Petrarca. Jack Silvani's been awesome. On the weekend, he had 14 disposals, but he had 8 intercepts and 8 1%ers. The amount of brave spoils, the smart decision-making from Jack Silvani, I've been so proud of him as the recruit of the season, to be honest. Clayton Oliver's been great. Petrarca's dropped off. So whether you think Jack Silvani's been the best recruit or not, it's irrelevant. He's been a great recruit. And the fact of the matter is, people laughed at the selection, saying, oh, his dad's the coach, list manager, and everything like that. This has been a great move for Jack Silvani, and he's been an awesome recruit for the Saints. Marcus Herbert, 36 disposals off the half-back line. Great effect in the game for the Eagles. They were poor in the second half, but he consistently had a really good game. Josh Ward had about 33 disposals playing in the midfield crew. He did pretty good, to be honest. He had 33 disposals, 88%, 10 score involvements, and 4 clearances, so he deserved a spot there. Errol Goulden had over 1,000 metres gained, just like Naz. People were raving on about Errol Goulden's metres gained. Naz had 1,060 metres gained or something, so if Goulden getting over 1,000 was awesome, which it was, he had 41 disposals, 73% disposal efficiency, 7 score involvements, and 7 clearances. 1,047 metres gained, which is just out of this world. And Naz had 1,060 metres gained. So really good as well. Even better than Errol Goulden's. The Chad star, Chad Warner, a goal in 32 was really good. Zach Bailey had 3 in 26. He was really good for the Lions. What a great player Zach Bailey is. And Brisbane were hoping to retain him. Jai Amos kicked 5. Jack Gunston, he does well despite getting older with 7 goals. Bailey Fritsch, 3 goals and 16. I like Bailey Fritsch. I think he's a really handy player at Melbourne and a very important, vital part of their team in general, let alone the forward line. Shannon Neal kicked 5. Taylor Byrne kicked 2 goals or 3 with 17 disposals. Had 2 goal assists and 12 score involvements. Brodie Grundy was awesome. A goal. He absolutely destroyed Mr. Madden from the Giants. He was absolutely awesome. Brodie Grundy, a goal, 23 disposals, 29 hitouts, 11 contested possessions, 13 score involvements, and a goal assist, and 7 clearances, and 5 of those centre clearances. And Dacos, a goal, 39 disposals. And Dacos is one of the best players in the competition, not the best. A goal on 39, 74%, 18% disposal efficiency, 10 score involvements, and 7 clearances. He was just awesome. Patrick Cripps had a good game for Carlton. He had about 30 disposals, but he had 15 clearances. That's out of this world. 10 score involvements as well. 21 of his 30 disposals were contested, so he deserved a spot in the team of the week for sure. Ed Allen, 2 goals, 17, and quelled the influence of Jordan Dawson. Kane Collins get an education. George Hewitt was really good, 3 goals and 24 disposals. Harley Reid had 12 clearances to go for his 30 disposals. Ed Richards kicked 2 goals of his 32 disposals, and Will Ashcroft the same, 2 goals and 32 disposals. Will Ashcroft, what a find for my Supercoach team he has been. 2 goals and 30, at 73% disposal efficiency, 2 goal assists, 12 score involvements, and 5 clearances. Will Ashcroft is a absolute star, easily. So, on to all those people in my team of the week. Tim Membry kicked 2 and 18, had about 8 score involvements. He was very close. Unfortunately, Taylor Byrne is probably the guy that took his spot, but the skunk Timmy Membry was awesome. Brad Hill had 34 disposals, had a good game. Darcy Cameron was the next ruck chosen, then Tom DeConing the same. He destroyed Tristan Cherry. Harry Petty kicked 4 goals, had a solid game. Most of it done in the back half of the game. That's why he didn't make it. Tim Kelly had 30. Billy Wilson had 24 disposals, about 8 intercepts, had a good game. Dylan Moore had about 10 or 11 score involvements alongside Harry Morrison, both had in their mid-20 disposal range. And Steve McNeil kicked 3 with 19. Had a consistent game and a lot of score involvements. I think he had 10 as well. So a lot of score involvements for a lot of the players in my team of the week, and the guys even just missing out. But comment down below your thoughts on my team of the week. A heavily debated team of the week. I thought it was a really good team here. And there's everything like that. So okay, we got some breaking news on the Max King injury. I'm reading this live as we speak. Max King has been ruled out for the rest of the 2026 season after straining his hamstring. Another strain. So Max King's season is over. The Saints want King to focus on getting his body right for a full preseason rather than rushing him back if we play finals. So that's horrible news for Max King. You just feel for the guy. I mean, I said it earlier. Real Saints fans, Max, stick by you, mate. You put so much effort to coming back. You got your comeback game. Now the next comeback game will be even sweeter, mate. All the best in recovery, Max. We're all thinking of you, and we stick by you. Now, let's now go through my Supercoach talk. I scored 2,521, a massive score for me. Really proud of that. That was in the top 2% for the round, so really happy with that. And I've gone up about 3 or 4% in the overall rankings. I'm now in the top 17%, so I'm really happy with that. Now, let's not waste any more time and go through my team. I thought there was a few players that got robbed of some points, as they always do with the stupid Supercoach scoring system. But here's the team on the screen for you all to see. So Naz, 194. That is absolutely awesome, but clearly was robbed of multitude of points. That easily, without a shadow of a doubt, is well worth more than 194. If that was Marcus Bontempelli having 4 goals and 46 disposals and like 11 score involvements, he would have broke records and scored like 300. That's how bullshit it is. Naz should have easily scored about 240. There's no arguing and no debating it. How can you debate a guy who kicked 4 goals, 46 disposals, and like 11 score involvements and a few goal assists and clearances not actually get over 200. Like, that's actually bullshit. The third quarter alone, when he kicked 3 and had 10 disposals and like 6 scoring involvements or whatever it was, that alone, that quarter is worth about 80 points. So you're telling me he only scored 114 for the other 3, which is still awesome. But like, when you put it all together, that should, and the factor in of when he got those goals at big moments, that's easily worth over 200. No one can convince me otherwise. That's rigged. Lockie Ash got 106, whatever. Brody Ulan got 78. Now, I think he was robbed of a few points here. So I'm not happy with his score, but I feel like he was robbed a bit. Lockie Whitfield got 85. Not happy with that. Josh Worrell got 104. Happy with that. Hugo Hall-Kahan, of course, now when I have to play him, he scores 54. That's whatever. Bailey McDonald on the bench, 49. Kai Annan, 55. And Dacos, 143. I loopholed him as my captain. Smart choice there. You'll always take a score over 115. If you don't know Supercoach. Will Ashcroft, what a pickup he's been for me. I looked at the matchups of who they played. Will Ashcroft's a gun. One of the best players at his age in the midfield in the competition. 137, he was awesome. Lockie Neal, 84. Disappointed a bit, but Lockie still had a solid game. Jordan Dawson had 89. He was pathetic in the second half. Brad Hill got 114, back to the scores I knew he would get. The Geelong game apparently doesn't have a good record there. But 114 for Brad Hill, the king of the hill. It's good to see. Isaac Heaney, 86. He's pissing me off if he's scoring lately. Zach Merritt, 101, whatever. Matt Rowell, 92. I thought he was robbed of about 15 points. Joel Fitzgerald on the bench, 60. Ison and McRae did not play. That being Finn McRae, of course. Luke Jackson, 94. Again, pathetic scoring from Luke Jackson about 4 weeks in a row in the 90s. I'm getting really pissed off with this bullshit of him scoring like this. Brody Grundy, 135. He was awesome. Well-deserved. Harry Sheasel, 132, was very good for the Rouge yesterday. Zach Bailey, 126, awesome. Chad Warner, 125, awesome. Tuke Miller, 79, not happy with that. Bailey Williams, 80, not happy with that, but whatever. Petrarca, 82, pissing me off again. 403,000 he is now. I've just realised that now. And Max Gawn, who I brought in, not Bailey Smith for my last trade, got 112. I have the flexibility if Jackson or Grundy get managed at the end of the season where Gawn can go in there, or Bailey Williams and Kalani Watt can go in the forward line and Lombard can go on the field. I have no trades remaining. Or do I have one? You'll have to wait and see if I have to make any more trades throughout the season. But comment down below how your Supercoach team is going. I'm really happy with how my team is going. So it is what it is there. All right, let's review the round 20 game, shall we? I kind of went through who I think will play finals. I think it'll be St Kilda in 10th place, but I'm not ruling out the Giants. Never rule out the Giants. So it is what it is there. Right. So Adelaide 74, Collingwood 108. What a statement win by the Pies. Have a great record against the Crows in Adelaide. They won 8 of the last 9 times in Adelaide. I don't know if that includes Port Adelaide, but it wouldn't shock me because Port Adelaide are no good. Adelaide are a good side and are the far superior SA side, although it's not that hard when Port can't win a game and Adelaide are doing really well and have been screwed by the umpiring a few times this year. But they weren't good in the second half. You know, Thilthorpe and Tex and Dawson had good first halves, but the whole team went missing in the second half. Dacos, Tim Embry, Darcy Cameron were huge. Lockie McAndrew needs to be dropped now for Riley O'Brien, at least for a week. Give him a break because he's been terrible in second half for 2 months. You know, I love the game of Ed Allen, Tim Embry, and Dacos, who had really good games. Melbourne 97, Geelong 117, Geelong by 20 points. Melbourne, disappointing. They conceded over 100 points in turnovers. Now, that right there is a big reason why they lost. But I should have mentioned this before. Geelong, severely protected. Tom Sniper Stewart drops the ball, nothing happens. Tanner Bruin drops the ball, nothing happens. Both those resort to Geelong goals. And there was another incident with Geelong. I mentioned on my match review post, Geelong are severely protected. Geelong didn't earn this victory. Melbourne gave them the win, and the umpires gave Geelong the win. Bailey Smith was shit again. Thank God I didn't put him in Supercoach. Got like 80-something apparently. Thank God I didn't put him in, that hack. Melbourne, Gawn dominated Mitch Edwards, but everyone's doing that. You know, I thought Ed Langdon, despite 3 of his goals in the last quarter, I thought he fought hard and did as well, as did Bailey Fritsch. They both played their part. The doubleheader Friday night, bullshit. Freo 112, West Coast 42, Freo by 70. Freo were only up by 8 or 9 points at halftime. And credit to the Eagles, but they were bad in the second half of the Eagles, which is really disappointing. They've done this a few times against a few sides, which is something that Andrew McWalter needs to get fixed. They're doing a lot of things right, but that second half blowout or first half blowouts are costing them games. And I don't think Mini would be happy with all this. So they need to address why this is happening. Now, Freo need to address why they are scraping over sides in quarters or halves. That can be deemed a good thing. I speak to some Freo fans who are not satisfied fully with it, but that thinking, well, it shows how good we're going in those little blocks if we're still winning the games like this. I don't fully agree with that. I think they're not playing that good. I think they're frauds at the moment still. They haven't shown otherwise. I think Brisbane are the clear favourites for the premiership this year. I don't see how you can think that Freo are in a better position in terms of the premiership than Brisbane. Brisbane win their games and dominate, where Freo scrape over the line. Yes, sure, you'd rather be winning than not. Of course, they're doing well for that aspect. But yeah, Brayshaw and co for Freo were really good. There are a lot of guys in the late 20 disposal range that had solid outings. And Jai Amos kicked 5 and obviously was really good. Marcus Herbert was good for the Eagles. And Tim Kelly as well. But that is what it is there. Carlton needed to win this, and they did. Carlton 110 to Gold Coast 97. 13-point victory to them. So, look, they did what they had to do. Carlton, it's a close game. This could have gone either way. Gold Coast were in the lead, late in the third, early last. Gold Coast had a good game. Now, what do I think about the Petrarca-Lombard situation? Petrarca should not have been yelling at Lombard, but then Lombard shouldn't have been telling Petrarca to F off. So that's poor from both of them. But Lombard doesn't need to get in the way of Petrarca. So Petrarca's got the runs on the board. He's a good player. I've spoken to him once before. He's a good guy. So Lombard needs to stay in his lane. But yeah, Cripps and Hewitt and Byrne were some of Carlton's better players, and it keeps their finals hopes alive. And realistically now, Gold Coast season is over because St Kilda play Carlton, St Kilda just play North, so and GWS are in that mark as well, and they play Gold Coast as well. So if GWS beat Gold Coast, they're definitely done. They're cooked. So is what it is there. But Anderson was one of their better players. Hawthorn 132, Essendon 39, 93 points. Pathetic Essendon. What a shock. Not. Will Day had his moments. Dylan Moore, Harry Morrison, Jack Gunson, all very good. And congratulations to Jack Gunson for kicking 600, I think it was, or 700 career goals with 7 on the weekend. GWS 88, Sydney 139, Swans by 51 points. Thank you, Sydney, for ruining Giants' percentage a bit more to help us. Look, the Giants were shit from the start. Better in the second half, but it was all done and dusted, but at least they fought the game out. This will be a one-off type. I know the Essendon game for GWS was a concern. It wasn't good enough. They'll be really pissed off. But Swans, Goulden, Grundy, Heaney, and co were all very good. But it's just, yeah, very disappointing for them. Wow, we got some more breaking news that Finn Callaghan will miss the rest of the season for the Giants after doing his ankle, and he'll be out for the rest of the season. Ouch. No pun intended. That's a cruel blow for the Giants. Finn Callaghan's a great player and a massive out for the Giants. We wish Finn Callaghan, like Max King, all the best in their recoveries. It's just shit to see so many injuries to premium and star players this year, which is terrible news. So wish him all the best. But yeah, the Swans are on. Bulldogs 105 to Richmond 48. Richmond were good in the first quarter. They maintained a level where they could have won the game, but they played shit and boring football. And Amuse's job has to be in question. I don't care what people say in the stage of their development and that. Their recruiting has been terrible. They got rarely any good players on their list. Nothing at Richmond would excite you as a Richmond fan, honestly. Let's be real. There's not many players there that excite you. Let's be real. Disappointing. I got no problem with Richmond. I just Be like, their fans have had enough. You know. Brisbane 126, Port Adelaide 67, Brisbane by 59 points. Port Adelaide were in it in the first half, but Brisbane kicked 7 goals in the third quarter, 7 goals in the last quarter. It was like 14 goals to 4 in the second half. Pathetic from Port Adelaide. Typical fade out by Port Adelaide, but their fans just continue to accept mediocrity. They're happy and content with playing a quarter or two and saying, call it a day. We're going to tank for Dougie Cochrane and shit. I mean, Dougie Cochrane ain't going to resolve your problems. Zach Butters is going. Georgiades will go at some point. Their ruck situation needs to be fixed because Jordan Sweet is not good. Is he having a better season than normal? Yeah, sure, but he never had a high bar to beat to begin with. North Melbourne 62. For Brisbane, Zach Bailey was awesome. Logan Morris kicked 3 in the end, so did Charlie Cameron, but they didn't have big games. Zach Bailey was really good. Lachie Neale had moments. Hugh McCluggage was really good. Hughes had obviously a lot of form and injury-related stuff this year, so it'd be good for him to get some confidence. But yeah, St Kilda and North Melbourne to wrap us up for this part. St Kilda 93 to North Melbourne 62. St Kilda by 31 points. Ryan Burns kicked a nice goal to get us going. Cooper Sharman was a laid out. Rowan Marshall was out in the last 5 minutes of the game, up before the game. No Flanders, no De Koning. No Flanders, no Sinclair. And the guys I just mentioned and more. So backs against the wall. Max King's back for that game. You know, the emotions are already high. It's a vital part of the season. Two sides equal on the ladder, essentially. You know, just must win. And we got the job done. Was it an exciting win? No. But we just need to win. Our percentage is above the Giants and Carlton and that, so we don't have to worry about percentage with those sides. Just don't want to get smashed. That's all. Sydney this week, tough task. But Sharman and Campbell Lake will come back hopefully as well. We had a calf injury. Hopefully only misses this week. Apparently he told someone he might only miss this week. Just gone, the North game. So Lake, Sharman, and Marshall hopefully all come back this week against Sydney because, we're going to need them, that's for sure. But it was far from convincing. But hey, we got the job done. That's all that matters. And for people that wanted to say, North were inaccurate, we kicked more behinds than them in the end. We had, of 7 scoring shots, 6 of those 7 scoring shots were in a row of behinds for us. So it wasn't just North Melbourne. So don't keep bringing this bullshit up to me because we kicked inaccurately too. We copped injuries throughout the game. They did not. The umpiring in the third quarter was favouring North Melbourne. There was a guy who dropped the ball in the middle of the ground when Butler tackled him. No free kick. I think it was Sheasel. They ended up getting a goal from it. Whoever got the goal in the third quarter from them in the mid part of the quarter or somewhere around that line, that shouldn't have been deserved. Either way, we won the game. Naz owned the North Melbourne Football Club and Finn O'Sullivan. He destroyed him. People say that Naz can't break a tag. He did it again with O'Sullivan. Just because O'Sheen Mullen did it once doesn't mean he can't break a tag. I think he played awesome, Naz, as did Tom De Koning in the ruck. He destroyed Tristan Cherry. So at the end of the day, that's all that matters. 4 points is 4 points. Vital 4 points for the Saints. And is what it is there. So everyone else that's sooking that we won, keep crying about it. Sooks. Let's wrap up by previewing the round 21 games. So we set up on Thursday night at the MCG. It's Collingwood and Geelong, 7:30 Victorian time. I'll be tipping Geelong to lose this one. So Collingwood to win this one by 20 points. I think the Pies are back. And people that wrote them off at the start of the year and laughed at me for having them in the top 8 part, who's laughing now? Suck it. I told you they'd make it. So it is what it is there. All right. Oh, where did my notes go? Friday night at Optus Stadium, 8:10 Victorian time. It's Freo and the Bulldogs will be between Fremantle and win this one by 28 points. Bulldogs are frauds. Saturday, 1:05 at Marvel Stadium. It's St Kilda hosting Swans. Now, the Saints got robbed against Sydney last time from the Max Hall thing where he marked it, the time and everything like that. Jai Sarong broke our hearts and the umpiring did. We got screwed over. We should have got the 4 points back. I'll be tipping St Kilda in this one by 1 point. This time, we're hopefully going to get the job done, but it's going to be a hard one. The Swans are a great side and one of the premiership favourites. Hawthorn, North Melbourne in Tassie, 1:35 on Saturday. Hawthorn will win by 45 points. 6:35 p.m. at the Adelaide Oval. It's Port Adelaide and GWS. I'll be tipping GWS to win this one by 25 points. Carlton, Brisbane, Saturday night at Marvel, 7:40 Victorian time. I'll be tipping Brisbane to win this one by 40 points. Sunday, 1:10 at the MCG. It's Richmond hosting West Coast. I'll be tipping West Coast in this one by 20 points. And finally, to end round, no, it's not the last game. Gold Coast and Melbourne at People First Stadium, 3:15 Victorian time. I'll be tipping Port Adelaide. Not Port Adelaide. I'll be tipping Gold Coast in this one by 1 point. Now I'll be tipping Melbourne by 20 points. And the last game on Sunday, Essendon and Adelaide at Marvel, 4:40 Victorian time. I'll be tipping Adelaide to win by 75 points. Now, the reason there's a gap between the 1 o'clock games and the 6 onwards games on Saturday is because there is the AFLW international rules between Australia and Ireland at 4 o'clock on Fox Footy. It's been a great game. The best of the AFLW against the best of the Irish players. It's going to be a great contest, that. So for people wondering why there was a time gap between the AFL games, because the AFLW international rules game will be on at 4 o'clock at North Sydney Oval, and that'll be a great game to watch and get around. My final thoughts are simply this. You want me on Cameo, cameo.com/CooperG. You want me to roast a friend, wish somebody a birthday, anything at all, cameo.com/CooperG. And if you know any AFL, AFLW players or any state league players, you want to see them on the channel in a Golden Challenge and or interview, please send me a message and we'll get something sorted. Thank you. Go Saints. Come on, Saints. Let's upset the Swans and get back that victory that we were robbed by last time.